This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It is Sunday, June 20th, 2021. So happy Father's Day to everybody. This is the weekend update, or actually maybe the weekend down date for the Greenville Eastside IBD meetup group and the Stockyard meetup group. As always, this is for educational purposes only. Not recommending any stocks or securities to buy or sell. All investing has substantial risk of big loss, so you want to learn first and only then invest. So this weekend, we'll look at the M factor. Very important right now. We'll look at the 197 industry groups, look at a couple charts, resources, trader line presentations, and then our next meeting will be Tuesday, July 13th, 2021. So we're going to start with the M factor, which is the most important letter in CAN SLIM. And per O'Neill and IBD, we look at three things in this order of priority: the action of leaders. Of course, last weekend I said we saw improvement suddenly, look like a nice change in character, and then this week just got slammed back to the divergence, tug of war, sort of the meat grinder market. Look at actions of stocks own. Things got whacked this week, as already mentioned. And then the market pulse, distribution day count, price and volume on the indexes. So I'm going to switch to Market Smith and also to Excel and look at the coloring book. Actually, I'm going to start with the coloring book this weekend. So we'll do a little bit backwards because this just shows some of the damage that crept in pretty quickly this week. So really, here's our 5 days starting at the beginning of the week. The main thing we noticed, first of all, is the index started flipping to yellow and red on the MMTS trend line, which means the 10-day turned down, the 21-day exponential turned down, and it went under the 21-day. That flips them to yellow, and then when it goes 1% or more under the 21-day, that will flip it to red. So that's where we are currently. So we saw that on the Dow, and by the end of the week, NYSE, Dow, Russell 2000, and the S&P 600 had all flipped to red. And we had some, look at the distribution days. So suddenly we had 3 of the last 4 on the Nasdaq, 2 here on the S&P 500, and 2 on the Dow. So getting close to clustering, which is defined as 4 in an 8 trading day window. So if we get another one on the Nasdaq, we're going to have clustering pretty quickly. So here's our 25-day window. So you can see the ones that are still active. So here's the 4 on the Nasdaq, 1, 2, 3, 4. They have borders around them. The 5 on the S&P 500. So we'll actually lose 2 this week due to time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I still count them on the Dow, even though IB doesn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the Dow. And then you can see, we started the week, NASDAQ and the S&P 500 hit all-time closing highs, and we just went down from there. So Fed meeting started on Tuesday. That's often sort of a wishy-washy day. And then it concluded on Wednesday, which is always a hard day to trade. Markets got whacked on the comments, distribution on all 6 indexes. And then Friday, we had quadruple witching, had distribution on all 6 indexes. Market got hammered again, and we had additional Fed comments coming out from Bullard, who's not even a voting member, but contradicted Powell and said that rate hikes could start in 2022 instead of 2023. And if we go back, to the group teaching portfolio, just look at it for the week. You can see again. So here was Tuesday, distribution day there, got hit really hard. Wednesday, Fed meeting, bounced back on Thursday, and then bam, slammed again on Friday, and pretty nasty week. And let's see, up 5% year to date, and 95% invested on a cash basis. And so some of these are looking weak, and then some things like, FIGs and NVIDIA are probably the 2, best percentage gainers. and Dynatrace is sort of there in third, I guess. So let's go to the indexes, look at these real quickly. So this is the Nasdaq on the daily. This one looks the best. I mean, RS line's still trending up, so the divergence is flipped. Now the Nasdaq's looking better, and the traditional old economy, the Dow, are slipping, but then the Russell and the S&P 600 are slipping too. But here we're good. Moving average lines are stacked in the correct order. RS line is up, keeps battling at that 14,200 level. Can't get above that, and hanging right there at 14,000. And then we go downhill from there. So here's the S&P 500 closed under the 50-day. Massive volume, again, quadruple witching, so that's to be expected. That's always a massive volume day. So the lines haven't rolled over and crossed each other yet, but that's ugly to be below the 50. NYSE's even further below the 50. Again, massive volume. 10's getting ready to cross over the 21-day. Dow, 10 and 21 are crossing over the 50, and it's well under the 50-day. The Russell, this one got weak fast, closed under the 50-day. S&P 600 down 2.4% for the day, closed under the 50-day. So those all flipped pretty quickly and got fairly ugly quickly. Let's see if there was anything else. We looked at that. Group teaching portfolio. Yep, covered it. So here's the industry groups. This is 197. I did notice underlined in red, the yellow ones are the traditional sort of growth industries. I could have missed a couple in here when I was highlighting them, but computer software starting to migrate more to the left. So that was encouraging. I mean, 3 weeks ago, industry group 111 down to 70, up to 79, 174 up to 92, 169 to 136. So just some improvement there in computer software. So if growth can continue to lead, maybe keep an eye out. We do have two over here in the top 40, computer and medical. And then in the next 40, computer, semiconductors, medical, computer, and then software, one of them even crept into the top 80. And of course, solar is bringing up the rear. So it doesn't have anywhere to go except up when you're number 197. So that's sort of where we are. Let's go back to Market Smith. Oops. There we go. And look at a couple charts. So we looked at this one last weekend. This was a new IPO company that owns the UFC, talent agency, represents athletes, that sort of thing. You know, it sort of fell apart this week. If you look at this week, it was kind of setting up in here, sort of a tight, almost a Darvis box, going across there, and it fell out the bottom of that. So shares we had in the group teaching portfolio, most of it stopped out. We even had a little wider stop because it was an IPO, decreased size position. So it's just going to need more time to do anything. Biggs is another new IPO. This one actually completed an IPO base that was 18% deep, broke out this week, nice volume. I consider that pocket pivot volume, even though there's not a 10 full days in there. That was actually the 10th day, but on IPO things go shorter, so that looked good. And then Friday, at least it stayed in the buy zone on a rough day in the market, so it didn't sell off the next day. So we'll see what happens with it this week. Go to the weekly chart. This one, you know, has triple-digit earnings and sales for 4 quarters in a row over there on the left. So that's pretty strong for an IPO. So we'll see what happens. Has a lot of underwriters. The 25-day quiet period will expire Monday, so you can expect, you know, 13 or 14 of these 15, maybe all 15, will come out with reports because the quiet period would have ended for the underwriters that were involved. in the IPO. So those normally come out Monday before the market opens or first thing. So we'll see what that does to FIGs. And then a couple growth leaders, maybe to study, see if they're perhaps worthy of including on your watch list. This is CrowdStrike, so that's a third stage base. A little bit later, but setting up good CanSlim numbers. You have Fidelity Contrafund in there over on the right. Liquid, almost $900 million per day. So that one's looking pretty good. Let me switch this. There you go. Get my column layout down there. I forgot to do that. Yeah, 900 million per day. You don't have earnings till September 2nd. You have the RS line that's hopefully moving to new high with price. So that's one. And then Generac. This one is set up. It is a stage 4 base, so that may be too late for some folks. And it has run from the COVID low 80 up to 340. So it's had a 4 times move. So that's something to keep an eye on, but it did break out and do have fire season and everything coming. And then they're doing some stuff with energy storage also. It's got nice volume coming in. And you have good fund ownership, got Lord Abbott in there at 1%. So that's looking a little bit good too. So there's a couple you may want to study this weekend, see if they are worthy of going on your watch list. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, July 13th, 2021. Those are the 2-hour meetings. Of course, I've done the administrative part. I have that on YouTube, about a 45-minute video. So we'll get right into the educational topic. Everybody who registers for that, it's $10 tuition. You can attend live, then you get the recording and the slide deck. You can only register at the Stockyard Meetup site. And if you're a first time, I send a courtesy copy of the last month's meeting, which was back in June. Our agenda for July, still deciding on the main educational topic. I may do a segment on walking through the newspaper, how to use that, some sort of tips and tricks that are in there. We'll look at the group teaching portfolio, post-analysis and trades, look at the IPO market update and review. Still a lot of IPOs coming to market. We have like 12 new ones coming up this week. And then I have you guys, I'll let you submit tickers in advance and we'll walk through and do chart review on CanSlim stocks. We'll do some of that and I'll send out an email on that. And then I also have people tell me, are you looking at it as a watch list candidate or do you own it and you're considering sell rules? So we make sure we evaluate them from the right perspective. So we're working on that. Videos, my videos are uploaded at the Stockyard YouTube site. I'm putting them so you can find them in one place. So it'll have the weekend updates. Here's the introductory one that's about 45 minutes. Here's one I did on the certainty 8-week hold rule. I think that's the most misunderstood and misapplied rule in CanSlim. And then also a prior meeting is on there. I think that's the May meeting in full. So if you want to see what one of our monthly meetings are like. Here is the index of the prior meetings and the educational topics that we covered. The slide decks and recordings can still be ordered on these. You just send me an email. Same price as attending live, they're $10. But the most popular ones, that seem to help people, May 2020 did CanSlim trading A to Z. August 2020 did a complete weekend routine, how I use the newspaper, how I use the Growth 250 to build a watch list, and then how you sort that watch list into various tiers, bringing the cream of crop to the top. And then if you don't have written sell rules, that's probably the thing that will most help you take your trading to the next level. So we spent 3 months covering those and helping you write your own set of sell rules. So that was January, February, and March of this year. And then the last couple months went through the double bottom pattern and shakeout +3 early entries and rally days and follow through days. Talked about that in detail at the April meeting. May meeting went through the IN CanSlim in detail. And then last month we covered ETFs for CanSlim investors in great detail. One other resource, so Trading Lion had its first annual trading conference last weekend. This is available on YouTube. They had like 16 speakers, top-notch people in here. Jim Ropel, I always listen to him wherever I can hear him. Kathy Donnelly on IPOs. Dr. Eric Wish, I've never heard him before, so that was very interesting. So these are out there. I'm still just now getting to try to work through them and go through them and take some notes. So be aware that that's out there. Questions, contact information. Here's the meetup websites, Greenville Eastside IBD meetup. There's a bunch of CanSlim resources I've uploaded on there for everybody. And then the Stockyard is signing up for meetings. And then you can email me on the prior webinars or other questions you may have, or follow me on Twitter. And then again, the YouTube channel for the Stockyard that I showed you. There's the videos. If you go there, subscribe to that. And I think that's it. So hope everybody has a great Father's Day. I think that covered everything. And we'll see how this week shapes up. Some volatility events. Powell is testifying on Tuesday, I think, about COVID and the Fed response before Congress. And then Friday, the Russell 2000 rebalances. So that usually brings some volatility also. Like we need more than that, more of that. Y'all have a great week.